Hello there. Well, today I want to talk about a decision made by our government, and if I'm honest, it just totally baffles me. Not is it just for its cruelty, but for its sheer indifference towards the most vulnerable amongst us. The OAPs, the elderly. This winter, it's estimated 4,000 pensioners will die in the UK. Not from natural causes, but from something entirely preventable. The cold. Now, these aren't just numbers. They're parents, grandparents, neighbours. People who've worked hard all their entire lives, only to find themselves in the twilight years struggling to afford to heat their homes. Now, the government's decision to cut Winter Fuel Allowance, WFA, for many pensioners is a death sentence for thousands. It's not hyperbole, it's fact. The Department of Works and Pensions, or the DWP, that itself acknowledges the risks. Over 100,000 pensioners may fall into poverty because of these cuts, directly pushing some into choosing between heating their homes and eating meals. So how did we get here? MPs voted this policy knowing full well the cost in human lives. Yes, they knew. These reports were out before they made all these decisions. The reports and statistics laid it bare. Without adequate heating, the cold exacerbates conditions like hypothermia, respiratory diseases and heart problems. Now yet they went ahead and voted to strip away the essential support. So why? To save £1.5 billion. Now, that seems an awful lot of money to save, but it's a drop in the ocean compared with the 11.6 billion we send overseas in climate aid. Aid that, while noble in intention, must be balanced against the urgent need of its own citizens. I mean, what kind of government prioritises abstract global commitments over the immediate survival of its people? What kind of MP stands in Parliament, votes for this, and then goes home to a warm house, knowing their decision will leave thousands to freeze in theirs? And don't forget, these MPs, when it got passed through, they cheered. They effing cheered. Now, where I sit, helping other countries, you know, is important. Climate change, in my opinion, is real, and action is necessary. But not this net zero nonsense or anything else. You know, we don't make, if we was 100% net zero, it won't make that much to the global environmental crisis. None whatsoever. So let's not kid ourselves. But when we allow our elderly to die preventable deaths, we fail a basic moral test as a society. No government, no MP should be able to look away from that reality. Some will argue the cuts were targeted, that they're helping only the poorest pensioners through means testing. But let me tell you this, the policy ignores those on the edge. Those who don't qualify for pension credits but still struggle to keep up with the skyrocketing energy bills. It assumes people will navigate complicated systems to claim benefits when many, out of pride or confusion, simply won't. How can you ask some, I don't know, 88-year-old to get on a computer and go through this to try and claim winter fuel payments? And then there's a cry of, well, there's help out there, the citizens' advice. It's been in the minuses for the last couple of days. How's the poor old bugger going to get down there and join a queue? Answers for everything and actions for nothing. I'll tell you what though, if I was an MP, I would have stood against this policy. And leadership isn't about making hard decisions. That's not a hard decision. It's not a hard decision that hurts the powerless. A good leader would have found a solution to protect us. Now, and if the cost of saving these lives is some political fallout or a budget reshuffling, then so be it. Because, in my opinion, the alternative, which we have, is inconsolable. Now I come to the MPs who voted for this. You knew, and you knew, and you still choose to let thousands die. I ask, not as a critic, not against the government, but just as a human being, how do you sleep at night? To those watching now, it isn't just a political issue, it's a moral one. We've got to hold our representatives accountable. So speak out, advocate, and don't let your voices of the vulnerable go unheard. Because society doesn't care for our elderly, for its vulnerable. So, is it a society that's lost its way? Take care.